Oh, hey there.
Oh, I didn't see you there, but I got a joke for you. A yellow house has yellow bricks. A red house has red bricks. What does a greenhouse have?
Green bricks?
Nope, it's made of glass.
Let's take a tour.
Incredible.
Most important part of a passive solar greenhouse is the sun. We oriented the greenhouse to the south in order to retain the most sunlight possible. Here for the glazing we chose triple layered polycarbonate in order to retain the most heat.
For our south roof, we chose a gradient of 19 degrees as it falls into the range of degree measures to allow for the most sun. And it also gave us a larger north wall for PCM phase change material. The 19-degree slope gave us a north wall with a height of 15 feet. We have 5 7 feet by 5 feet windows on the south wall, orientated with the knee-high wall at the height of the organic soil bed to capture the sun as it travels through the southern sky.
On the east side of the greenhouse, we have 2 7 feet by 5 feet windows and 1 5 foot by 5 foot window to capture the sun's rays as it rises from the east.
And we have 2 windows on the western side, 7 foot by 5 foot, in order to catch the sun's rays as it sets in the west. And all the windows in the greenhouse are made by triple layered polycarbonate, just as the roof.
Let's go inside. Now, the 4 aquaponic fish tanks we have in our systems will account for 1,440 gallons of water, which leaves us with 3,816 gallons. Now, to account for this, we've used phase change material, represented by the bubble wrap, along our north wall, the east wall, and the west wall. The phase change material takes our total amount of water needed down to 2,338 gallons. Which, while we've cut the original number down quite a bit, we still need a good amount of thermal mass. To account for this, we can use both the pavers that will make up the floor of the greenhouse, along with 50-gallon tanks of water that can be placed along the north wall, out of the way, to add thermal mass to the greenhouse.
As you can see, our greenhouse is color-coded. The blue construction paper represents insulation, and we have it all around in order to retain heat. Coupled with that is black marker, which represents airtight areas as to not let air infiltrate through, as to not lose heat through the cracks in the greenhouse.
On the east and west walls, we have 2 workbenches with cabinetry underneath for storage, represented in yellow. The east wall workbench is 2 feet by 16 feet, while the west wall workbench is 2 feet by 12 feet with a double sink.
Represented in red is our organic soil bed, which is 4 feet by 40 with only 2 by 2 small cutouts, which is for our gas system. But we'll get to that later.
The organic soil bed is as asked for by Mrs. O'Sullivan, and the south wall knee-high wall is at 16 inches, the height of the organic soil bed, so as to allow for full sun exposure for the organic soil bed. Lastly, in the greenhouse, we have 4 aquaponic systems. Each aquaponic system is made up of a 360-gallon fish tank, 2 media beds, and 1 raft bed for growing. The aquaponic systems can be used both for growing produce for the school, for the dining hall, for local services like Teague, or for doing lab experiments, as Mr. Martin has shown interest in. Lastly, to get in and out of our greenhouse, we have 2 doors, one on the north wall, one on the west wall. 2 doors are per fire code, and we chose the west wall over the east wall, as there should be less sun on the west.
As previously mentioned, the most important part of a passive solar greenhouse is the retention of heat. To aid in this, we have a GAT system. We have a GAT system.
A GAT system, or ground air heat transfer system, is designed in order to regulate the temperature within the greenhouse and to prevent fluctuation of temperature from the day and the night.
During the day, when the greenhouse is hot, the two fans in the back of the greenhouse pull air from the greenhouse down underneath into the GAT system to heat the ground. Then, at night, as the temperature in the greenhouse starts to go down, the two fans at the front of the greenhouse on the ground push the air from the ground, the hot air from the ground, back into the greenhouse to keep the greenhouse warm throughout the night. These fans are on the ground because heat rises. So bringing the heat into the bottom of the greenhouse will ensure that the entire volume of air is warmed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you our GAT system.
I swear by the moon and the stars in the skies, and I swear like the shadow that's by your side.
During the day, as the heat is pulled down into the ground, it travels through these tubes, which are buried under the soil, and the heat is retained.
Then at night, these fans, which are on the ground of the greenhouse, push the heat back in order to keep the greenhouse warm through the night.
Like our greenhouse above, the GAT system is both insulated and sealed airtight because as the GAT system is made to regulate the temperature and avoid fluctuations in heat, we can't afford to lose any heat from the ground. And that's our GAT system.
We had a wonderful time showing you around. Thanks for stopping by.
I swear by the moon and the stars in the skies, and I swear like the shadow